Every year, NSEA's project team works with contractors, local municipalities, other organizations, and private landowners to complete about a dozen major restoration projects across Whatcom County. These occur during the summer because the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife has determined the time frame when work in a creek or near a waterway will have the lowest risk of impact to fish. We call this season Instream season. While each in-stream season is different, the overall goal remains the same: restore critical salmon habitat in Whatcom County. In this project spotlight, we take a behind-the-scenes look at 3 creeks from the 2020 in-stream season. The first project takes place in a major Squalicum Creek tributary called Mccormick Creek, located in the northeast corner of Bellingham, just north of Squalicum Mountain and Lake Whatcom. In this project, NSEA removed 3 consecutive barriers on the tributary, 2 barrier culverts, and a concrete dam that was in between them. The dam had been constructed in the early 1900s to provide water for agricultural purposes, and had slowly filled in with sediment over the years. NSEA worked with the landowner to progressively drill holes in the dam to drain the upstream pond without allowing the fine sediment to migrate downstream, where it would be detrimental to fish and other aquatic organisms. Once the pond was drained and the remaining sediment was dry enough to excavate, a majority of it was removed. A new channel was reconstructed using sandy gravel cobble mix suitable for the slope and discharge of the creek. The result is a series of small pools and cover to provide rearing and holding habitat, and several riffles suitable for spawning. Ultimately, the project provided fish to access 1.1 miles of largely undisturbed spawning and rearing habitat. Once the major construction was completed, the site was planted with appropriate native trees and shrubs and mulched by the NC Whatcom County Washington Conservation Corps crew. A major component of this project was the large logs with root wads that were supplied by the landowner. Large woody debris is a critical component of salmon habitat and provides many benefits to the fish. In the next project, a section of stream bank was eroding away. Placing large woody debris along the bank will stabilize the dirt and prevent further erosion. Fishtrap Creek is a tributary of the Nooksack River. The creek originates in British Columbia, Canada, and flows southwest directly through the city of Linden. Due to land development north of the border, increased impervious surfaces have greatly altered the hydrology of the watershed, resulting in more frequent and larger flows during the fall, winter, and spring seasons. The project construction involved isolating the creek using super sacks filled with washed drained rock, installing 2 temporary bridges across the creek and a side channel, and placing large woody debris along approximately 200 feet of stream bank. Our last project showcases a different benefit of large woody debris, providing a complex habitat. The Terrell Creek watershed in Blaine is home to chum and coho salmon, but this habitat also is important for a variety of waterfowl and the nearby shellfish beds in Birch Bay where the creek drains. Through a partnership with Whatcom County, NC's team was able to place 180 large woody debris pieces. The only way to effectively place tree trunks that weigh 6,000 to 10,000 pounds each is with the use of a helicopter. Salmon rely on the pools and shelter that these trees create, both in their stages as young fry and as returning spawning adults. Each of these projects address habitat concerns, creeks that are home to coho salmon. This was just a short recap of the projects that took place in the summer of 2020. Each of these projects addressed habitat concerns in creeks that are home to coho salmon. The status of coho stocks vary across the Pacific Northwest, but Puget Sound, Strait of Georgia coho are listed as a species of concern under the Endangered Species Act. McCormick, Fishtrap, and potentially Terrell Creek are also home to winter steelhead, an ESA-listed threatened species. Our annual in-stream season is just one way that we take action to keep wild salmon here for future generations. Thanks for joining us on this Project Spotlight.